How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 15 Chapter 8. This is Season 15 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 8. In this episode, we will be talking about thought pairing, gateways, the non-consensual and consensual realities, S-waves and P-waves. Now, in previous episodes we talked about how force actors exist in a non-consensual reality and impose that reality on others through the application or threat of force. On the other side of the equation, it is likewise possible to impose a non-consensual reality through thought pairing and gateway formation. How does this work? When individuals in a social exchange mirror each other, it produces a gateway between their minds, with concomitant thought pairing between the two actors. Now, what this means in practice is that the internal space corresponding to the minds of the two actors is joined, and through this union their thoughts follow a common narrative pathway. This common narrative pathway allows some highly attuned individuals to draw insight into the internal states of other actors they are engaged with. This insight, being the result of a kind of collective unconscious of thought, is largely non-volitional. This non-volitional nature means that when the perceiving actor anticipates the internal states of the other individual, it can often penetrate their negated thoughts or shadow self. By producing a non-volitional incursion into their unconscious and subconscious, their shadow self, it represents the imposition of a non-consensual reality. There is another way that this non-consensual reality can be conceptualized. When the highly attuned actor uses language to promote a state of arousal, this results in bursts of P waves, which confirm the state of arousal. That confirmation confirms the internal confidence wager corresponding to a conscious guess regarding the internal states of the experiencing actor by the perceiving actor. In other words, rather like echolocation, the highly sensitive person possesses the ability to infer the internal states of those around them. Now, at this point, when the discussion mirrors the internal states of the experiencing and perceiving actor, the experiencing actor may choose to release the negation, release the impulse, which brings the shadow self into the light. Or, the experiencing actor might trigger an adrenaline flight or fight response, which will send out S-waves corresponding to their internal states, obscuring the ability of the sensitive person to use the gateway to interpret or infer their internal states. Thus, a highly sensitive person can impose a non-consensual reality through coordinated thought and receptivity, rather like a sixth sense, revealing or bringing the shadow self into the light. Now, there is another lesson we can observe from this experience. Although physical territoriality, the threat of force, is the phallic approach to imposing a non-consensual reality, bringing the shadow self of others into the light. Gateways and mirroring can likewise be used for the same result, arising out of the feminine. This dualistic antagonism represents an equality of ability, through divergent means. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.